everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing and coming back to watch this video. So today I have a fun video. I'm just going to be giving you my first impressions, cold sniff review of the holiday 5-bar wax collection from Scentsy. So it's a really cute collection. It comes in this little festive bag here. I love these little bags. So it's like a little felt material. And then you do get 5 bars. So I actually have 2 of them here. As a consultant, that is something that Scentsy allows us to do. We're able to get early access to collections like this sometimes. And I was able to go ahead and grab 2 of them. So I went ahead and did that just because they sounded like something I would be interested in. And I wanted to make samples for my customers as well as have a set for me to warm and review. So I have my set here. It is 5 bars and it's going to be $25 and it will be available October 1st to everyone else. But if you are a consultant, you can get this as an early access item and purchase it that way through your workstation. So I ordered these with my September 1st order. So that's when we were able to grab these as an early access item. So all of my September 1st orders are here. I have 3 of them. I have a big clearance order, and then I have 2 party orders that I placed. And I'm going to be going over those orders with you, but there is so much on those orders that I just decided to pull this out of the box and go ahead and give you my first sniff impressions of these separate from that whole order haul, because that is going to be so much that I just wanted this to be separate in case anyone only wanted to hear about these bars. So I do have the descriptions wrote down here beside me. So I'm going to be going over the descriptions with you and we're going to smell these together. I am kind of nervous for these. So we're going to see. There's a couple on here that I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about them. And then there's a couple that I'm hoping that I fall in love with. The first one that they have listed here is Caramel Macadamia Nut. And it says a decadent mixture of caramelized sugar and creamy tonka melts into toasted macadamia. And that one is this one here. That is such cute packaging. So let's see what this one smells like. There's like a little black speck on mine. I don't know if you can see that. But that caught my attention there for a second. I don't know. Okay, well, it smells pretty light from the top there. Well, first and foremost, I can tell you this smells buttery to me. It smells a little buttery. And you can definitely smell like the nuttiness of this one. I don't really exactly know what macadamia is supposed to smell like, but it definitely smells nutty. And I can definitely smell like caramel, and I can smell like some butter. So this butter that's in this is not like the butter that's in the salted caramel cider. Even though this does smell like a salty butter, that bar was sweet, and there was just something about that butter. It was the most beautiful butter that I've ever smelled. It still is like a salted butter, but there's also like a salted caramel here, and then there's like a nuttiness. I really like this. I really do. I'm a little concerned what the performance is going to be just because it smells kind of light here. I smell like some vanilla. It says it has toasted macadamia, and I don't really smell anything super toasted here. So I don't know what that's going to do on warm. It does say caramelized sugar, but I don't smell a whole lot of sweetness with this one. There's like a slight sweetness here, and then there's also like some saltiness here. And sometimes I feel like when they say caramelized sugar and then they also say there's something toasted here, sometimes for me, that can smell like a burnt caramel when it's warming. So I'm hoping that that's not going to happen with this one when it warms. I'll have to warm it and see. But just here on cold sniffs, it doesn't smell overly toasty to me. And like, smelling it from here, from the top, I don't really smell much here. Like it's very soft from the top. I really like this one. It's not something that I would have thought that they would have put in a holiday collection though. I wouldn't say that this one is necessarily holiday specific, except for the fact that that macadamia is kind of smelling the way like a nutty chestnut type of smell would smell. And I know that they put that in holiday bars sometimes. So it smells holiday in that way, that it smells like a buttery, salty, like nutty type bakery fragrance. So I like it. I really like this one so far. I'm just worried about the performance. So we'll have to wait and see how the performance does with this one. The next one here is one that I'm pretty excited about. This one is the Festive Fruit Punch one. And the description says, oak barrel holds a jubilant celebration of apple, orange, and raspberry. So I usually really love fruity bars. So I'm hoping that I love this one. And I'm just looking, this package, I like the way these two packages are. Like they look kind of similar, the way they're drawn out. That's really cute. Okay, well, that's a little different. It's a little bit different than what I was expecting. I really like it, but it's different. There's, I guess it's because of the oak barrel. There is like a woodsy type note here, but it's definitely still fruity. Hmm. It's kind of odd. It's kind of odd. It's also kind of unique. I like it. There's nothing about it that I dislike so far here on cold. I'm gonna have to wait and see what this one does on warm, because I feel like this might really change on warm. Because it almost smells like there's like a heavy woodsy note in the background. And then the fruity notes, it says apple, orange, and raspberry. Well, I can't specifically make out orange. I do kind of smell something berry here. And then apple, I don't really smell apple. Or maybe slightly. Orange, I think I smell the least. And I smell something that kind of smells like a berry apple, but also like a woodsy type note here. This is not a traditional fruity fragrance. It's not. Like I was thinking this was going to be like a brighter fruity, like a wintry fruity type fragrance like they kind of normally do, but I think this is something completely different. It is stronger than the other one. It's stronger than the bakery one, but I still wouldn't say this one's super strong. It's different. I can't stop smelling this one. I don't know what this one is going to do on warm. It's the oak barrel that I think is making this different. And what else is in here? I feel like I'm smelling something else that I know what it is, but I can't figure out what it is. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this one. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to warm this one and see. It's not that I don't like it, it's just not exactly what I was expecting. Okay, the next one here is frosted eucalyptus. And this one says sparkling bergamot, eucalyptus leaves, white sage, and creamy sandalwood meet in a balanced moment of calm and bright. So it's got a lot of stuff in there, and I love bergamot, I love eucalyptus. Sage, is sometimes iffy for me, and I usually like sandalwood, so I have high hopes for this one as well. It's this really pretty color. Okay, this one is kind of light too, honestly. It's kind of soft. Well, I liked the smell of it from the top a lot more than the bottom. I feel like there is a bunch of sage here on the bottom. Not a bunch, okay? Not a bunch. I take that back. But there's more sage here on the bottom, and that's a scent that sometimes I don't particularly like, but it is very blended in this bar. I feel like the sandalwood, it says creamy sandalwood. I feel like that's really balancing this bar. Now, it mentions bergamot and it mentions eucalyptus leaves. Eucalyptus, yes, I can smell, but it's not an over eucalyptus. Like I feel like sometimes if they put eucalyptus in a bar, it overtakes the bar. I don't think that's happening here. I can definitely smell it, but it's not like in your face, open up your nose eucalyptus. It's not that strong here. This is kind of like a softer, relaxing kind of bar, honestly, because maybe it's the creamy sandalwood. There's something toning it down a little bit here. It mentions sparkling bergamot. Now, I don't know what would make bergamot sparkling. I wouldn't say that this leans manly, because sometimes bergamot can smell manly. Sometimes bergamot can smell citrusy. I mean, I guess it would lean more manly than it would lean feminine, but I don't really think it's either or, honestly. And I don't really smell citrus here. So I don't think there's a whole lot of bergamot. There's more eucalyptus, and then I smell more sage on the bottom, but I think this is more of like a eucalyptus sage bar with sandalwood, with like a creamy sandalwood. And so I really like it. Okay. I am someone who doesn't always like sage bars, but I think out of all the sage bars that we've had that have had like some sage in them, this is probably my favorite one I've smelled on cold. I don't know what this is going to do on warm, because if more of the sage overtakes this bar, I might not love it on warm. But if the eucalyptus and the sage stays balanced, then I think this will be a beautiful wintry bar that I will love. This is a bar that I would absolutely love to warm in January. This just feels like a January winter type bar for me. It is very, very pretty. Okay. I love this bar. The more that I smell it, I really do love it. The problem is I'm worried that this is going to be too soft, especially for a lot of other people. I feel like I'm kind of sensitive to smells. And so I feel like, it might perform okay for me, but I don't understand. Why is it so soft? I feel like lately they've been having, softer bars. I don't know if it's because this is a fresh pour, because like I said, with the Caramel Macadamia Nut, this one, I feel like it is also soft. So maybe these just need a little bit of time to cure. But this is beautiful. I really do like this. I am pleasantly surprised by this one. I like it more than I thought that I would. Yeah, I can't wait to put these in order, because I don't even know I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Okay, the next one here is Jingle Bell Blooms. And this is the one I was concerned about, because this is supposed to be a holiday 5-pack of bars. And out of all the bars, I feel like this one is just not going to be for me. I feel like this one isn't going to be a winter fragrance, but it says winter jasmine blooms in crisp air with twinkles of iridescent musk. Now, I usually love bars with musk, and I usually love jasmine, but I just feel like for a holiday bar, I'm not sure how I feel about it. But I do think the name is super cute, Jingle Bell Blooms, and the little images there are adorable. And it is a green color, so let's see what this smells like. Oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be at all. It is more floral, but there is a smell here that is very familiar. This smells like a perfume that I have smelled before, like a mature lady's perfume, and I cannot figure out what that is. What is that? That's going to drive me crazy. Okay. I love jasmine, like floral jasmine. I wouldn't necessarily say this is like a really floral jasmine scent here. I do smell floral, but it smells more like a perfumey type body care floral to me. Now it mentions musk. I can smell a little bit of musk here. But again, this is not really a strong bar either. It's kind of on the soft side to me. I really think all of these just need some time to cure. I really do, because maybe once I cut into this bar, I'm going to be able to smell it better. There is a very, very slight sharpness to this one. Very, very slight sharpness. And I guess that's coming from the floral note that's in here. It does mention crisp air, but I don't necessarily smell anything air about this one. And honestly, the color is throwing me off with this one. Like a green bar within this pack, you would have thought it would have been something woodsy or with pine, and it's nothing like that. This is a pretty fragrance. Okay, so this one leans feminine, in my opinion. This one definitely leans feminine. I wouldn't say it's necessarily floral. It just leans a little bit more body care perfume, in my opinion. But I also don't smell amber here. And normally I don't like perfume type bars or fragrances because they always put amber in them. And I don't really smell that here. So maybe this will be one that I can warm. I'm very interested to see what this one does. It's not really a bar that I would have put in a holiday collection, though. I don't associate this type of fragrance with a holiday bar. I just feel like they had so many opportunities of what they could put in this holiday 5-pack of bars, and this would have been not one that I would have ever thought that they would have put in this pack. It's definitely different. This is not a traditional holiday fragrance whatsoever. So if you're not one that likes traditional holiday fragrances, if you like slightly body care, more feminine fragrances, it's not overly floral. Okay, so if you shy away from floral, you might still be able to do this one. And this is different. Okay, another one that I'm just gonna have to warm. I don't even know what to say. This last bar here is called Snowed in Flannel. Now I was really excited for this bar. Okay, please don't let me down, Scentsy. There was the bar that I used to have in my club that was in a brick at one point. I forgot the name of it. It was either called, I think it was called Forever Flannel. Is that what it was called? If it was not called Forever Flannel, I will, correct myself here. But I took that one out of my club and I have regretted it ever since. I love that fragrance. And so I'm hoping this one is going to be like cozy, like that one is. The description for this one says soft layers of cozy cotton warm up sugared musk, white woods, and a sprinkle of pink pepper. So there's a lot going on in this description. Cozy cotton, sugared musk, white woods, and a sprinkle of pink pepper. And those are just kind of things I wouldn't necessarily think would be put together. I think the little image here is adorable. Oh no, this is nothing like Forever Flannel. Okay, so just go ahead and take that out of your mind. It's not like that. This is not what I was expecting. There's something very, very familiar about this. What is this? There is a scent exactly like this that I have smelled before, and I'm not going to be able to figure this out, and it's going to drive me crazy. I have smelled this before. I don't know if it's something from Scentsy, if it's something from somewhere else. If you guys have smelled this and you know that this smells like something else, that this is a dupe for something, please let me know down below because this is going to drive me crazy. I know that I have smelled this somewhere. I know that I have. Okay. I cannot figure out what this reminds me of. So it mentions soft layers of cozy cotton. Okay, I don't smell anything here that smells like cotton or laundry. Maybe slightly. Okay, but I was thinking there was going to be like a laundry or a linen edge to this, and I don't really smell that. If anything, there is something slightly body care about this one. Very, very slightly. Okay, nothing like the other one. But there's something like a little feminine about this one. So this one mentions sugared musk. I can definitely smell some musk here. It mentions sugared. There is a slight sweetness here, but I don't think it's like anything overly sweet or anything like that. It does mention white woods. I wouldn't say necessarily I smell woods. It mentions pink pepper. I wouldn't say necessarily I smell any kind of like pink pepper. I just cannot figure out what this is. This smells exactly like something that I've smelled before. It does smell slightly cozy. Okay, I will give it that. It does smell slightly cozy, but not cozy like Forever Flannel. I think Forever Flannel had more of a bergamot or sandalwood type feel to it, and I don't have that here whatsoever. This one definitely leans more feminine. Like, I feel like Forever Flannel was more neither. Like, it wasn't neither, but this is definitely leans a little bit more feminine to me. It's a pretty fragrance, don't get me wrong. I think I might like this one. It is a little bit softer, but I still just think that's because this whole collection needs to cure. I think they're just fresh pours. There is a slight sharpness here, even though it's a soft bar. I don't know if it's coming from the pepper note. I guess that could possibly be, but I don't necessarily smell pepper. I have Blankets of Love here. Okay, so Blankets of Love is very, very sharp to me, and it's feminine. Okay, so there's something about this one that slightly reminds me of Blankets of Love in the fact that it is feminine, but it is a much softer, cozier version of Blankets of Love. So if you liked Blankets of Love, you might really like this one. It's definitely a light bar. It's definitely softer, but I think, again, it just needs to cure a little bit. I think this is just a fresh pour that I got. And it still has different notes than Blankets of Love. I just feel like it's kind of like the same vibe here. And again, this does not smell holiday to me. It doesn't. It smells slightly wintry, maybe, like a cozier type feel. But I would not say that there is a single bar in this 5-pack that smells specifically holiday. Nothing. I don't think any of these smell Christmassy. I don't think any of these smell holiday. I just don't think. I don't think they smell like that. I think they smell more wintry than they do holiday. And that's kind of disappointing. I wish there would have been one in here that smelled a little bit more like an actual holiday bar. And I don't know. This one is really pretty. I think that I'm going to like this one. I think that I am. I'm pleasantly surprised with all of them. I don't think there's one that I dislike in the bunch. And I don't think any of them is going to give me a headache or anything like that. I think they're all beautiful. They're not what I expected whatsoever. I don't think that they could say that this is a cotton fragrance. I mean, I just don't see why they use the word cotton with this one. And then they even named it snowed in flannel. Normally, if they use the word snow or they use flannel or they use cotton, it smells more like a clean, fresh, type of fragrance. And while there is a slight element to that, there is also a feminine type smell to this one that makes it like pretty. It's like got a prettiness here. So I don't know. This one is unique. I say with this collection, you're just going to have to try them because I don't even know how to explain these bars. I really don't. I am so confused at the moment by these because if someone would have had me smell these bars and I wouldn't have known the name of them, okay, if I would have been blindfolded and I would have smelled these bars and I did not know that this was a holiday collection, I would have never thought that this was a holiday collection. I would have said some of them smelt wintry because the eucalyptus, the frosted eucalyptus one, definitely smells wintry to me. And definitely, this one definitely smells wintry. It is absolutely gorgeous. But the rest of them, I just don't know. Festive Fruit Punch. Okay, this one does smell more of like a wintry, fruity bar, maybe. And this one again, this one smells more of like a mature lady's body care type of fragrance, okay? More than it does like a floral bar. It smells more of like a mature type perfume to me. That's what I'm smelling here. I would not have associated this with wintry or holiday. I would not have. This one is slightly more wintry. And I just cannot get past the fact that this is an exact dupe of something that I have smelled before that is going to drive me crazy. I'm not going to be able to forget this. I'm going to be picking this bar up like crazy for the next couple of days, trying to trigger a memory of whatever this is. So if you know what this snowed in flannel is a dupe of, please let me know. This is going to drive me crazy. I can't figure it out. I really like it. Okay. So let me just put these in order because I'm absolutely no help here with this collection. So if I had to put these in order, Caramel Macadamia Nut would be number one for me, and that's because that is the most bakery bar out of this collection. This is more of like what I would warm all the time, even though I think it's a little light here. I think it is gorgeous. I think there is a beautiful buttery caramel saltiness to this bar that is really pretty, and I'm hoping this is going to be gorgeous when it warms. I could definitely see myself mixing this bar. Hey, baby. So sorry, Luna's coming in here. She's probably ready for some treats because I have been recording for quite a while today. But as far as this one goes, like I said, I would mix this with all kinds of stuff probably. Things that I want a slight nuttiness to, and also like a buttery caramel type note. This one would be a great mixer, I think. So first place for me is Caramel Macadamia Nut. Second place for me is a Frosted Eucalyptus. And I'm really surprised by that. I really honestly thought that my second place would be Festive Fruit Punch or Snowed in Flannel, but I really like the Frosted Eucalyptus. It's really pretty. I don't know about the sage, but I'm telling you, it is a very soft, beautifully balanced eucalyptus sage bar. If you like the scent of eucalyptus, I would just give this one a try. If you like the scent of sage, I would give this one a try. It's very, very pretty. And I really think it's the creamy sandalwood that's making this one smell so amazing. Because it's like blending those two things. Neither one of them is super sharp, and it's really pretty. So I can see myself grabbing a lot of this one, probably adding this one to Club, and using this one as like a staple winter bar because I really like it. It's pretty. All right, Festive Fruit Punch, I think, is third place for me. That's kind of a hard toss-up between Snowed in Flannel and Festive Fruit Punch because I just don't know which one I'll like. It depends on how they warm, as you know, really how I'm going to feel about these bars. So for now, just here on cold, I'm going to say the Festive Fruit Punch one just because I usually like fruity bars. There's something about the oak barrel in this one that's making this one a woodsy type fragrance. So there's something a little odd here that I'm not sure how that's going to affect this scent when it warms. So it does say that it has the apple, the orange, and the raspberry. And I just really can't specifically smell each of those things. I just smell like a fruity, woodsy fragrance. I don't know how else to explain it. It does lean more like a wintry type fruity fragrance to me, but it's not what I was expecting. But I'm going to put it in third place. Fourth place is Snowed in Flannel. Okay, so I definitely prefer this one over the Jingle Bell Blooms, and that's because the Jingle Bell Blooms it smells even more feminine. It smells more of like a body care perfume. Do you want to say hello? So here's Luna. Hey, baby, you say hey? She's like, nope, she's going to go play. So that was Luna. She absolutely did not want to be held. So she does not want any affection right now. She just wants her treats, and she is demanding treats. So I'm almost done with this video, and I will be done for today recording, and I will make sure she gets lots of treats because she's been a pretty good girl today. Back to these two. They are, like I said, they're in my bottom two. I do like the Snowed in Flannel a little bit more, and that's just because the Jingle Bell Blooms definitely smells more perfumey, but more of a mature type perfume in my opinion. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's powdery or anything like that. I usually don't like powdery type perfumes, but this one, it's okay. It's pretty. There's just more of a sharpness in this bar than there is in this bar. And I usually don't like sharp bars. So it's just different. It doesn't smell like a holiday bar to me. Okay. So we're going to put that one in last place. And fourth place is the Snowed in Flannel. And it is unique. It definitely smells like something I have smelled before, and I just can't figure it out. But this one smells feminine as well. There's something about this one that's like almost like a creamy, feminine fragrance. The more that I smell this snowed in flannel, I can definitely smell more of like the sweetness. So there is like a sugary type sweetness to this one with the musky type note. And I just wish there was more of like a cotton note instead of whatever the feminine note is that's making this smell like a little girly, a little bit like perfume. I wish it smelled more like cotton. I think that would make this smell more cozy. Even though it is slightly cozy, it's just not really a scent that I think that I would warm in the house, but I don't know. We're going to warm it and see what happens. All right. So that was my order here. I think I'm most excited about this frosted eucalyptus because this one smells so unique to me. And I don't really have anything that's like a eucalyptus and sage. And so I think this one for sure is going to go in my club. And I think for the other ones, if Caramel Macadamia Nut, if this one is beautiful on warm, then it may also go in my club to mix with other bars. But we'll just have to see. So if you are a consultant and you were able to grab these and you have smelled them, you have warmed them, I would really love to know what your opinions are about this collection. This collection confused me so much. It's just not what I was expecting at all. And I'm still so confused by the snowed in flannel. It smells exactly like something to me and I just cannot figure out what it is. I have been smelling this bar nonstop and I can't figure it out. Also, the Festive Fruit Punch, I feel like I was absolutely no help with this collection because I feel like I can't really describe these bars. I don't know how else to describe them. It smells so different from what I was expecting from the description. So please let me know down below what you guys thought, which one was your favorite, which one was maybe your least favorite. If you've had a chance to warm them, I would love to know, is the performance any better? Because a lot of these just smelled really light to me. I was kind of shocked by that, but maybe they're just really fresh pours. So like I said, I pulled these bars out of my September 1st order. So I'm going to try my best to record those next at some point. So I'm going to be recording the September 1st clearance haul that I have, and then I will record the September 1st harvest order party closeout haul and all of that. I think I have 2 of them. So stay tuned. I will get that up as soon as I can. I really do appreciate you guys watching my videos. I hope that they're helpful, even though I feel like maybe this one wasn't that helpful, and I do apologize. But if nothing else, I hope that you guys had fun watching. I hope all of you have an absolutely lovely day today, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.